Anybody else? Well, you
I,
go ahead. Go ahead.
oh, sorry. I just wanted to ask you one other question about the Wyoming game. I mean, ultimately, was it more about the defensive scheme, or was it more correctable stuff like gap control, technique? What was the biggest problems on rush defense?
Honestly, really personnel, the way we matched up to them, I think we would take a different approach. We probably should have matched personnel with personnel more than we did. I think that's one of those things that we'd like to have back. And then that created some gap control issues because of some of those matchups. Just, not being able to hold point, not being able to contain and squeeze down gaps. It was just really just a physical mismatch. We've known all along from day one, beginning of the season, that there were some physical matchups that we were going to struggle with until we can recruit bigger, develop bigger, bring some guys along. We've been able to mask it and survive it a lot of weeks. There's some games that we obviously didn't. BYU and Boise, we didn't. Those matchups, we couldn't get guys on the ground. We couldn't hold point. This particular game, just Coach Bannon and I talked, and he's frustrated. I think if we played him again tomorrow, I would adjust some matchups, adjust some personnel packages so that we could be a little bit stronger at the point, and it might reduce some of those explosives that we gave up. But, that's what you learn first time through the league. You really don't know exactly what you're going to see or what it's going to look like. We'll know a lot more in the future. And, this one, again, you got to fail forward. We made some mistakes. We didn't play very well in any of the three phases at all. We learned some lessons and pick it up and move on. And unfortunately, it put us in a position where we need some help from other folks.
Quick thing when you mentioned that there, Coach, you earlier talked about we're going to maybe have to recruit or whatever different. Do you have any development guys that can eventually be bigger for you in the trenches, or is that going to have to be recruited?
Some of both. Yeah, we got some young guys that just aren't ready to go out there and play on a down-to-down basis. We've got some guys that are injured that are standing on the sideline getting healthy that have that opportunity. And we've got just some recruiting, some needs that we knew we had all along that we're working on. So we need to – the crazy thing about this league is 1 week you've got to be able to attack big physical bodies in 12 and 13 personnel, and the very next week you're spread out with speed and space in 10 and 11. So it's super diverse, probably more diverse than what I've dealt with the last 7 years in the Sun Belt. Definitely way more diverse than what I dealt with in Conference USA. And so we're going to have to kind of think about it strategically how we want to continue to build. We're still always going to put a premium on speed and quickness. I think it fits our nature, but we do at least need to have the opportunity, even if it's by sub-packaging our personnel, have the ability to stand up against 12 and 13 type personnel like we've seen several times this year and play more physical, be stronger at the point of attack to make things bubble and slow things down so our speed can help us out. And we just didn't do that Saturday in a way that allowed us to make them punt the ball and get them off the field.
Anything else for Coach Anderson?
Appreciate it.
All right, everybody, we got junior running back Calvin Tyler Jr. Calvin had his third 100-yard rushing game of the season last weekend. Go ahead and ask him questions.
Calvin Al Lewis from KBNU and Logan. I think just everybody want to know what the team's feeling is to have a 5-game win streak stop like it was last week. And then now you're in this situation where you have to win, but then you have to hope for other people to win too.
One thing, we thankful for the 5-game winning streak. All our goals still intact. I feel like we just ready to get that bad taste out of them off and get back to playing. And as far as this week coming up, we just got to take it one game at a time. And like you said, I hope that one team get it done for us. But other than that, we still thankful for everything we accomplished this year so far.
You look like you're getting back to your health. Is that a fair way to put it?
Yes, sir. I most definitely am. I feel very good Saturday. I could have kept rolling, but I feel good. Just go keep attacking rehab and treatment.
Calvin Ajay Salveson, how much pressure is on you guys to go win on Saturday now you need help and you guys can't scoreboard watch obviously, but how much pressure is there on you as players to have to go win Saturday afternoon now or Friday? Sorry.
I mean, I wouldn't say it's pressure. We just know we got to execute, and from here on out, everything's a must win. And I think we just gonna do the same thing we've been doing, just executing, attacking practice, attacking our lives, attacking meetings like we usually do, and just gonna take it one day at a time and one game at a time, 1 degree better every day, which is Coach motto, and that's what we're gonna do.
Calvin, ultimately, how much was Saturday's game against Wyoming a reminder of how difficult it is to win week in and week out in college football, and how it's just really a week by week game?
Right. Like you said, so it's hard to win, especially in conference play. It's always hard to win. So that's why we thank for every win we get. As far as like it being difficult, I think we just got outplayed, but we attacked it like I said, we attacked every day. Like it's a difficult challenge or whatever. And we just got out executed. That's all it was. But we had the same mindset from the first week to here. So just got out executed last week, and that's all it was.
Calvin, how does the offense feel in a game like that when you have been so good offensively, been able to move and come back on people and get big plays and all of that, and then continue to fall behind and not be able to finish and get more points?
We felt the same way. The energy on the sideline to me was still like positive. Like even though we was down, we know us. We know how to respond from like when we down after half or whatever. But the energy, like I said, was great. But it hurt. I'm not gonna lie, it kind of hurt us not being able to operate like we normally do. But it's just a learning process, and it's college football. Like we said, it's hard to win, especially in conference play. But we're going to take it one game at a time. We're going to regroup. We're going to get back to the drawing boards this weekend. Going to be ready for Friday.
And I don't know how deep you've gotten into New Mexico, but they really only allowed 2 offensive touchdowns to Boise State in a 37-0 game that Boise won. So you're facing another team that has been hard to run and pass against this team this week. Right. And what do you know so far?
Yeah, we're not looking past no team. We know, like I said, it's hard to win, so we know this is going to be another challenge for us, but we're going to just do what we normally do. We're going to execute, and when the play is there, we're going to go make plays.
Calvin, how hard was it to come for those 809 yards on those 18 carries? It just seemed like that game was so physical both ways on both sides of the ball, but for you individually, how hard was it to get that 109?
It wasn't physical. When I go back, once I watched film and watched last Saturday game, I feel like I could have had a lot more than 109 yards. I missed a few gaps. But, I mean, they got one of the best linebackers in the country, so they tried this with, like, having a 4-1 box, but we executed. We ran the ball well. I feel like we played a good game. We just, like, we got to count by 7, not by 3s, and that's all it was to me.
You guys have had success this year. How can you put that into words for us so far, Calvin, of joining this team and doing what they've done this year and won games like you have up until now, and now you want to win at least 2 or 3 more?
Just got a group of guys that come together knowing we got a purpose, and we all know what we want, and that's to win a game, win a Mountain West championship, and whatever else after that. But I think these guys, man, I love these guys. I wouldn't trade this team for nothing. It's probably one of the best teams I ever been on. And you can just see it, like, from my energy. Like, Coach was just joking about we got to 5 o'clock for all them open. But I know once guys hit the doors, we get in the weight room, it's going to be all smiles and laughs. And we just ready to get back to playing. And like I said, I wouldn't trade this team for nothing. I love these group of guys. And all we know is 1 degree better every day.
And I think you told us you knew Coach Keaton before, you came here because of Oregon State and all, but what can you tell us fans? I mean, we all loved him as a quarterback. What's he like as a running back coach?
The same person he was as a quarterback, but he drives us. He pushes us every day. And I mean, like, when it comes to, like, the offense, we probably know everything on the offense, what the tackle do, guard do. He's just one of them coaches that's go push the best out of you and get the best out of you. He's a good guy, great guy. I love being around him. And you can tell he's still a competitor. Like, he still want to get out there and play with us, but he do a good job as a coach, and I love that man.
Early in the game with an injury and came back. Was there any problems there, or did you play with that the whole game, or are you feeling okay now?
I just got, kind of hit on the ankle in a funny way, and it was just hard to walk on it for a little bit, but I walked it off, got it taped up, and after that, it was fine.
How was it emotionally for the defense to go through a game like that again, where you played so great against San Jose the week before, and then, of course, gave up everything, it seemed like, in this game? What was that like?
It was definitely frustrating. We felt like we had a good week of practice. We felt that we had a good game plan going in, and we just didn't execute. So on the sidelines, we were trying to stay up as much as possible. I feel like all year long we've been a team that has had great energy on the sidelines, and sometimes it's hard. You're out there giving up big plays, not really stopping them the way you want to. But I think we did a good job this weekend of kind of finishing the game. There were a lot of times in the second half where we forced them to a field goal or we forced them a punt. And, I think a lot of guys could have just given up, could have, thrown the towel in and not really cared about what happened. But I think we showed good pride. And I think that's, a good stepping stone.
What do you think all of you transfer guys have added to this team? I mean, you all came from different places, or at least different schools, but a lot of them were winning schools, or you've been in winning places, and this team has turned it around in their mentality and how they've played and how they've gone after things. The coaches have done that, but what have the players done?
I think we've all just brought our different knowledge, different experiences from other systems into this one. And I think one of the big things is all the transfers have kind of bought in. Would have been real easy to, just kind of been off to the side, just kind of doing our own thing. But I think everyone's kind of really realized that this is a team, that we're one family. And, a lot of that's credit to the guys who were here before us, who kind of welcomed us in with open arms. There was no real hostility. There was no apprehension about new guys coming in. It was all like, you're part of the team now, you're part of the family. Like, we love you like a brother, and we all have the same goal. So let's go out and, win games and prove people wrong.
Hunter, Jason Turner from the Herald Journal. I mean, how much differently do you think Saturday's game might have gone if there was like one really bad play, it seems like, in all three facets of the game. If you don't give up the kickoff return, if you don't have a bad snap on that field goal, if you get one more defense stop in the first half, capitalize on one other situation offensively, how much different do you think that game could have been?
There's a number of ways of knowing. I think they, on a play-to-play basis, out-executed us pretty consistently. So hats off to them. They had a great game plan. They executed their game plan. And I just think, when you're giving up big plays, when you're giving up, chunk plays, 10, 15 yards, what it seems pretty consistently, it's really hard to win a game like that, especially coupled with miscues on special teams and the offense not scoring the way they normally score. So it's just kind of a recipe for disaster, which we saw Saturday.
Hunter, the coach, a few minutes ago said that it looks like New Mexico's gone to a lot of option, triple option and stuff. I mean, obviously, maybe you haven't really got into all the film study and all the game plan and stuff, but when you think back to playing like Air Force, for instance, what do you have to do in your position and as a defense to handle teams like that when plays are run at you that way?
A big part of it is just doing your job, doing your assignment, having great eye discipline. I think in the Air Force game, our eye discipline was pretty poor, especially in the secondary. Colorado State, we had a similar game plan, and our eye discipline was much better that game, and it showed in, how we played on defense. And then even the Wyoming game on Saturday, it was a similar game plan as well. And I think we had a lot of lapses in there that cost us. And I just think we need to kind of refocus and just really emphasize this week in practice, doing our job, doing your assignment, trusting the man next to you to do his job. And I think, we've shown this year that when we go out and execute, we can play at a really high level.